Have you ever felt it? That peculiar sensation, as if the universe itself has just blinked. A momentary flicker in the vast cosmic awareness, leaving you not lost but utterly bewilderingly unfound. It's as though you've stepped onto a path that moments ago was clearly marked, only to discover the signs have vanished, the familiar landmarks dissolved into mist. This isn't about losing your way in the woods or forgetting your route home. It's about a deeper, more existential disorientation, when the very ground beneath your purpose feels uncertain, and the next step of your journey is shrouded in an elegant yet unnerving fog. We all encounter these moments, don't we? Times when carefully laid plans crumble, when the dream you were chasing shifts shape in the light, or when the future you envisioned simply isn't there anymore. It's in these liminal spaces, these blink moments, that we often search desperately for external guidance, a sign, a guru, a flash of insight from the heavens. We pore over maps that no longer apply, consult outdated travel guides, hoping to find the precise coordinates for our next destination. I remember a time not so long ago when I felt completely adrift. I'd spent years building a career, brick by painstaking brick, convinced it was my life's calling. Then, almost overnight, the passion evaporated. The joy became a chore. I felt like a deep-sea diver, suddenly discovering my oxygen tank was empty, miles from the surface. Every instinct screamed, "Change course!" But the logical part of my brain, the part that loved security and predictability, was paralyzed by fear. The unknown stretched before me like a vast, dark ocean. It was in that suffocating uncertainty that I stumbled upon a profound truth, not in a self-help book, but in the quiet, insistent whisper of my own heart. The most powerful compass, the most accurate map, wasn't something to be found out there. It was residing patiently within. This led me to my first guiding light, a principle I now hold dear. I embrace the unknown with courage, trusting my inner wisdom to guide my journey. Think about that for a moment. Embracing the unknown, not just tolerating it, not just enduring it, but welcoming it. It's an act of radical trust. It's acknowledging that while the path ahead may be veiled, you possess an innate knowing, a deep intuitive intelligence that has navigated far more complex terrains than you realize. It's the same wisdom that tells a migrating bird where to fly, or a seed when to sprout. It's ancient, it's true, and it's undeniably yours. But how do you access that wisdom when your mind is a whirlwind of what-ifs and anxieties? When the external world feels like a carnival of conflicting advice and flashing distractions, it's like trying to hear a delicate melody during a thunderclap. We need to find stillness. We need to find our center. For me, this often looks like retreating, not running away, but running inward. It's taking a long, solitary walk in nature, feeling the solid earth beneath my feet. It's sitting in silence, simply observing my breath, allowing the mental chatter to settle like dust motes in a sunbeam. It's in these moments of quiet surrender that the answers, surprisingly, begin to surface. They don't arrive with a grand fanfare, but as gentle insights, subtle shifts in perspective, or a quiet certainty that simply feels right. This brings me to our second affirmation. I am centered and grounded, allowing clarity and direction to emerge from within. This isn't about forcing clarity, it's about creating the conditions for it to arise. Imagine a muddy pond. If you keep stirring it, the sediment never settles. But if you allow it to be still over time, the mud sinks and the water becomes clear. Your inner world is much the same. When you are truly centered, when your emotional and mental landscape is calm, the noise dissipates, and the innate wisdom, the clarity and direction can finally make itself known. It's not about finding the answer, it's about allowing the answer to find you. So you've embraced the unknown and found your center, and clarity is beginning to emerge. What then? Do you wait for the universe to deliver your preordained destiny on a silver platter? Absolutely not. This is where the true power of your agency comes into play. I used to believe that my path was predetermined, something I just had to discover. But the more I lean into these affirmations, the more I realize that while there might be a deeper purpose, the form it takes, the journey itself, is something I actively co-create. My friend, who's a brilliant potter, once told me, "The clay has potential, but it doesn't become a beautiful vase without hands shaping it, without intention, without fire. We are the hands. We are the fire." This brings us to our final, incredibly potent affirmation. I am powerful and capable of creating a fulfilling path that aligns with my authentic self. This is an affirmation of sovereignty. It's a declaration that you are not merely a passenger on the ship of life, but the captain, the navigator, and yes, even the shipbuilder. It reminds you that your deepest desires, your truest values, and your unique gifts are the raw materials for a life that feels not just good, but profoundly meaningful. It's about actively shaping your reality in alignment with that authentic inner voice you've been learning to trust. It's about understanding that a fulfilling path isn't found, it's forged. It's a continuous process of self-discovery, conscious choice, and courageous action. Before we move into our closing meditation, I'd love to invite you to step into this circle of seekers. As you listen, perhaps a question or a memory has stirred within you, something about your own journey, or how you navigate the foggy places in your life. Have you ever experienced a blink moment where the map disappeared and you had to trust your own inner compass? Is there a part of your life where you're seeking clarity or a step you're longing to take? If you feel called, I warmly encourage you to share your reflections, stories, or questions in the comments below this podcast or video. I will read every comment and I'll respond to heartfelt stories and questions in our podcast community. Your voice is welcome here, and together we can illuminate the unseen maps of our lives. One story, one question, one act of courage at a time. Now, let's move into our closing meditation. As you are able, feel free to stand or sit comfortably. Close your eyes. With each inhale, imagine a gentle light glowing at the center of your chest, the light of your own inner compass. With each exhale, let that light expand, filling your body with warmth and quiet confidence. Feel your feet rooted to the earth, steady and strong. If you wish, gently place your hand over your heart, and with each breath, silently affirm, "I trust the wisdom within me. I am guided. I am enough." Let yourself rest in this stillness, allowing clarity and courage to rise with your breath. As you move forward from this moment, may you remember that your path is not lost. It is simply waiting for you to illuminate it from within. You hold the unseen map, etched not on paper, but in the very core of your being. Trust it, follow it, and step bravely into the magnificent unfolding of your authentic life. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Next time we'll explore new ways to listen for the quiet wisdom that guides us all. Until then, may your steps be gentle, your heart courageous, and your inner compass ever true. Be blessed.